This is Ashley Gatta, and you're listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig. Wait a minute, that's my line.
Yeah, you're a little slow, aren't you?
Well, and old, but still good looking.
Model Melanie Hampshire has one of Mike's dresses on. If all goes well, it will make an ad for the New York Times. Peter is an old friend. He too wears his hair long and belongs with Mike to a New Yorker in-group that all thinks mod.
It is a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma.
It's Doggie Time.
I was in a band, a rock and roll band, ages ago. One of the guys, especially, somebody would come and ask, "What's the name of your band?" And he'd look right at him and say, "We're Van Halen."
Goodness.
I know, it was great. That's what you get when you play in bars.
I mean, they'll have a beer or two,
Right.
but they don't tend to get crazy drunk.
Right.
And we actually, I mean, we're okay with that. We don't necessarily want them getting crazy drunk.
I agree. Thank you. I've been doing this for 5,000 years,
Yeah.
and my least favorite people are crazy drunk
Yeah, and so
skinny jeans. Paws up, my cats and kittens. You are listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, here to remind you that we cannot conceive of matter being formed of nothing, since things require a seed to start from. Therefore, it is not anything which returns to nothing, but all things return dissolved into their elements. To that end, my cats and kittens, we float together on the ether of radio for a very brief moment, only to dissolve and return to the imagination from which it was born, all to become a memory. And so, as we are waxing poetic here on the Doggie Time Show, we want to give a little bit of a shout out to the city of Roanoke. Last Friday night, the city of Roanoke played host to Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers. We had the honor of actually playing for their Evenings on Oak Street concert series out there on the new stage on Austin and Oak Street. And it was kind of an interesting evening, my cats and kittens, as everything was going way too smoothly. The weather was behaving itself, and all systems looked like they were go. Unfortunately, poor old Gray Tone Productions, who was the production company for us that night, had a little mishap on down 377, and the cables that they needed to set up the PA flew out of the back of the truck. So a big shout out to brother Jason Rochester for scrambling like a couple of eggs to find some speaker cables in the midst of Roanoke. Now, if you're not familiar with Roanoke, my cats and kittens, it is the boonies. It is out there. It's a lovely little town stuck out there in not necessarily the middle of nowhere, but somewhere around the edges. So brother Jason had to scramble, and he finally tracked down some audio equipment in the lovely town of South Lake. So he buggered out there, got some equipment, come back, got us set up, got us rolling, and the Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers got up and did our usual fare to a bunch of, at first, shocked, but eventually warm folks from Roanoke. They watched us play, and everybody had a good time. By the end of the night, they were all stamping their feet and clapping their hands and jumping up and down and throwing stuff at the stage, which is usual for a Bone Doggie and Hickory Street Hellraiser show. So it was a lot of hard work to go into a very short show, and I want to give a shout out to brother Jason and TJ up at Gray Tone Productions for taking good care of us, and give a shout out to the city of Roanoke for being such a lovely host and a warm host and having us up there. We had a good time, and we do hope, my cats and kittens, to be able to go out there and do that again, because it was a lot of fun.
Doggie time.
Doggie time.
Doggie time.
Doggie Time.
Doggie time.
It's Doggie Time.
Paws up, my cats and kittens. This is your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, here to remind you that every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., Doggie Time sets fire to the airwaves on DentonRadio.com by bringing you news and information, innuendo, murder, mayhem, and the best of Denton music, not to mention the humor, love, and insight straight from the lights of Backwater Opera, Soul Tax, Ashley Gatta, and of course, the occasional Hickory Street Hellraiser, just to name a few. Now, we know that as we suffer the day-to-day slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, my cats and kittens, you can't always bank on being in front of one of these digital contraptions every Tuesday night. Well, old Bone Doggie is here to caress your earbones with a bit of joyous news. You can hear Doggy Time anytime simply by going to dentonradio.com and clicking the button on our player that is sporting the visage of yours truly. Or if you want the direct route, visit our blog at dentonradioblog.com and click the Doggy Time button there. And as an extra bonus, my cats and kittens, you will also have the past episodes of Doggy Time at your fingertip. Paradise is but a mouse click away. So feel free, my cats and kittens, to sit back, relax, and at your leisure, listen to Doggy Time anytime on dentonradio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I can dig it.
I can dig it.
I can dig it.
We can dig it.
I knew that you could. All right, my cats and kittens, it's now time to throw caution to the wind and drag in, kicking and screaming, this week's special guests. Your humble narrator stumbled over both these guys at the open mic at Banter, and since then we have all collectively managed to destroy countless theories of evolution, any pretext of social justice, and one or two promising futures, really. Not to mention a few bottles of whiskey on the way. Yes, so if you have not seen them on stage here in Denton, you can always find their pictures at the post office.
Mine's an old one, though.
It's a rather fetching photograph, though. It really is. They got your good side. There you did. And they are in no particular order. Comedian, bon vivant, and third world dictator, Mr. Greg Beach. And musician and Tempest Ludio Ludius, or stage actor for all you physical education majors out there, Mr. Austin Struckmeyer. Hello, boys, and thank you so much for coming in. I do appreciate it. I really
thank
do.
you for having us.
Yeah,
out.
thank
It's gonna
you
be
so
blessed.
much.
And we just wanted to drag y'all in here where we can expound words of wisdom. You know,
I've got lots of those.
Do you really?
Lots of wisdom. I've
Well-
been around a long time, Doug. Long time.
Yeah,
Well-
actually, me and Austin were nom together. Yeah.
Truth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I pulled him out of a rice paddy.
In the mud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's awesome.
See, of course, I was actually eating the rice patty, not dying. in the rice patty.
I was worried about booby traps, man. This is what you doing and shit.
I love boobies. Oh, traps. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
traps.
exactly.
Okay.
He saved me from some boobies once too.
Well, I wasn't in Vietnam. I was too old.
Oh,
Yeah.
Marched over the hill with Teddy Roosevelt.
oh wow.
Yeah, and the Rough Riders.
I was just about to say the Rough Riders.
With the Rough Riders, it was the wrong hill, but
Right.
the Riders were rough though.
There
They
you go.
really
I'll
rough
bet,
bunch.
I'll
And, yeah, changed my opinion on a lot of things actually before we got down to it. But to the real world, gentlemen,
Yes.
if there is such a thing this evening, we have known each other for I don't know, nigh on 6-8 months now.
Yeah.
So
Well, Doggie, you know me almost 4 years. You just,
I have. Yes, I
you
have.
just haven't really been hanging out a whole lot.
We started hanging out when you could drink.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
That's where I lucked out. I think the first time I met Bone Doggie, I was in this is how inebriated I was, because I was going to do my first stand-up set in Denton, and I'm
Right.
like super nervous, you know. I've been heckled every time I'm doing comedy, you know, in suburbia hell all over, you know, Texas, like Allen and Plano, like these areas I'm just living in. So I call my friends. I'm like, let's go to Cool Beans at like 5 or 6
Oh my
and get a
God.
few drinks in us, so I'll be like loose and just get able to go up there and like just power through my set and then, you know, cower off into the night. Not knowing that, you know, sign-ups are at 7, I showed up at 8.
Right.
And I walk into Bo Doggie at the table and I'm like, you guy I talk to you about sign up for a set time. And he just looks over at me and is just like, sign-ups are at 7. List is filled. If you want an alternate spot, I can put you down in a write-in on the 4th alternate spot.
which is actually technically 1:30 in the morning
Yeah, exactly.
on the sidewalk.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Until I
that was interesting because when you were saying that, I was thinking to myself, I missed the short bus as it pulled up and let everybody off. I didn't know you were drinking. Okay, that clears that up.
It's even worse for me though, man, because I was, you know, not of legal age to drink in this fine country of ours when I met Bone Doggie 4 years ago. So for the last 3 years, I've basically just been relegated to Bone Doggie groupie. I would just show up at the gigs and be like, "Hey, Bone Doggie, how are you? Yeah, love your set. It was a great set. It was a great set. It was some good music you played. Music, yeah, I like that." And then finally hit 21 and was like, getting whiskey, bitch.
Yeah, we did.
But, yeah.
When he was 19, though, you're driving off in the van, and he's like, "Take me with you, Hickory Street Hellraiser."
And it was monumental because the night that Austin and I had our first drink was in a gay bar.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it was.
awesome.
During a burlesque show.
Oh, that's great.
I thought that was rather fitting.
That's
It was.
It was
It was
very fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was I'm just
The
thinking.
funny thing is, though, that speaking of that first night we got our whiskey at good old Mabel Peabody's.
That was a great show. We had such a good time.
It was a great
Oh.
show, but I don't know if you know about this. While you guys were playing, I was dancing because, why not? You're allowed to dance at a gay bar if you're a guy.
No, you're allowed to dance.
You're allowed to dance. So I was,
That's
just
like a cover charge.
Just drinking my tequila sunrise and fucking dancing. And I'm really getting...
You ordered tequila sunrise, and the gay bartender's like, "Calm down, Sonny."
host. Yeah, exactly. Ghost really tore me a new one for that. and I'm dancing, right? And my pants split from here
Oh my
all
gosh.
the way down.
Oh no.
In the middle of everything, I'm like, and I just stood up. I was like, and then
And the drink offers came a-flying.
no, and then I just started, doing the hitch side to side
Movie and a show.
dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Then the evening went from good to great.
Yeah.
It did. That was the night that we literally destroyed the PA on our second tune. That was monumental.
wow.
I loved it.
He just blew it up.
It just quit. It died right there. We played one song and then, and I thought to myself, this is awesome.
Yeah.
The night before, and I'm driving down the road, and I looked over at Mabel Peabody's. I said, I'm going to go check this PA out. So I go in there and look. It's a little video thing. And I had the wherewithal to think, okay, I'm bringing my PA just in case.
Yeah.
So everybody's dead panicking, and I've got mine over in the corner. We
Calm
got a
down.
PA. We got this.
The
we
dog's
got
got it. It's okay.
Yeah. and then Bob Ralph walked through the door, and he didn't even make it to the bar. We stuck him behind the board and said,
Poor
"Run
bastard.
it. We'll get you a drink." So
Yeah.
it was a monumental night.
Oh, man.
So, well, very cool. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, you are in for, speaking of monumental, a momentous occasion here on the Doggy Time Show. We are actually going to introduce a new segment. It is a segment of love. It is a segment of heartfelt something. And it's called Bam Bam Cares. And you are listening to DentonRadio.com.
And now, friends, another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
I'd like to die peacefully in my sleep like my grandfather, and not screaming and crying like everyone else in the car. Bam Bam Cares.
Tune in next week, friends, for another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
All right, those were words of wisdom. Those were words of wisdom. I like that. Well, boys, I think it's about time we drag out some music.
Definitely.
Let's see. Let's hear a tune from the greatness of David Radford. He's one of the regulars at Open Mic
Okay.
on Thursday night. And this is his tune, Downtown Girl. And you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, sexy as could be. If you ever met her, you know what I mean. She's got all the right moves and she knows just what to do. She doesn't have feelings and she doesn't have a clue. Downtown girl, everyone knows her name. She likes to drink tequila and she likes to play little games.
am I?
You're in the house of Elrond. It's 10 o'clock in the morning on October 24th, if you want to know.
Gandalf.
Yes, I'm here, and you're lucky to be here, too. A few more hours and you would have been beyond our aid.
Mr. Frodo, bless you! You're alive!
Sam!
Sam has hardly left your side.
We were that worried about him, weren't we, Mr. Gandalf?
What happened, Gandalf? Why didn't you meet us?
Oh, I'm sorry, Frodo. I was, delayed.
Are you kidding me?
What?
Do you have any idea what we just went through out there? You leave us stranded out in the boonies on foot, where we end up getting chased around by a 9-pack of homicidal bedsheets. Then we end up at some dive called the Dancing Donkey or something like that.
Man, that place smelt bad.
Which we don't even bother to show up at, but their bedsheets did. Next thing we know, we're stuck even further out in the boonies with some homeless guy called Aracorn or something like that.
He smelled so bad.
And then the bedsheets showed up again.
God, those guys smelled really, really bad.
Jeez, dude, who are those guys?
No, wait just a minute.
One of them stuck me with a sword.
Oh, don't be such a weenie. Besides, it wasn't exactly a picnic for me either. While you two were out having the time of your lives, I was busy having my family jewels tossed around Orthanc Tower like a salad.
Well, too bad, old man. We're done. We're packing our stuff and we're out of here.
We're blowing this popsicle stand.
What?
You heard us. We're making like a tree and buggering off to Denton. We're gonna knock back a couple of pints and listen to some live music.
You can't leave. What about the ring? The council? We have to decide what
We don't have it anymore.
What do you mean you don't have it anymore?
We sold it to some really ugly skinny guy with no teeth and a bad lisp for a baggie of long bottom leaf.
You did?
He was the king of smell bad.
Oh, my God. I can't believe you furry rodents gave the ring away. I've got to tell Elrond. I can't believe this. Elrond. Oh my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
So you still got it?
The ring? Oh, it's right here.
I know a guy in Denton that plays in a band called Voldemort. I'll bet if we give him the ring, he'll let us backstage.
Ooh, sounds like a plan. Hey, can we stop and pick up Rosie Cotton on the way? She smells so good. And we need to remind you that this information was not solicited. We got it off the internet.
So, if it's not exactly correct, it's not our fault.
That's right. No responsibility taken. No responsibility assumed. We didn't even type this. So, Brother Greg, what is happening up at Haley's this week?
Well, Friday, April 20th, we have the Virgin Wolves, Public Love Affair, the Gypsy Bravado, Ducata Vega at 10 p.m. The cost is $8 for under 21, $10 if you're over 21 and going to spend some money on some booze.
That's right. That's right.
Saturday, April 21st, we have Horizon, Color of Om.
What color would that be?
Oh, jeez, I don't even know.
It's probably
Depends on what your aura is.
So what your aura is?
Maybe taupe.
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 Magenta.
Yeah, taupe Om. Sounds like an Om chair to me.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's an Alta Om. Oh, yeah, I went there.
Okay, so...
Megatherian's also on the show, and Rivid.
Megatherian. That sounds like something out of a comic book. I love that.
Right. I thought about calling a band once adjective animal name. Yeah, just to take the guessing game out of it.
There you
go. But that show's at 10 p.m. The cost is $8 for under 21 and $10 for over 21.
Okay. Down at Dan. Yeah. Sorry, I just took a drink, so I'm a little. Down at Dan Silverleaf on Friday, April 20th, we have the Sea Lions, the Demigs, the Human Growth Hormone. What?
They're called Human Growth Hormone, man.
Prove it.
Prove it.
Yeah, I named them.
You named them?
Yeah. They're friends of mine. I used to be in the group, one of the founding members, and it would always happen to us where we play a show and they're like, "Give it up for Human Growth Hormone," which is dangerous in this town because people are sitting there going, "Wait, we came to see Human Growth Hormone. I think we're at the wrong gig."
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I stand corrected. The Human Groove Hormone.
You're setting corrected, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it right.
Sitting. I sit corrected.
You sit corrected.
That show is at 9 p.m.
I'll stand up and correct though.
The cost is $8. And still at Dan Silverleaf on Saturday, April 21st, we have Dope House.
I love that name.
Yeah, right.
I love that name.
We have
Welcome to Dope House.
Dope House.
And we have Thermos.
They call those dispensaries in California.
Right. We got Thermos and the 420 Blues.
All right.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I love that.
9 p.m. is the time of that show. Cost is $5 if you're under 21, $10 if you're over 21. What's this whole deal with over 21 spending more? We're going to buy booze. Why do we have to pay more cover?
It's supposed to be under 21.
That's weird.
Oh.
I didn't type this. So,
Well, hey.
I'm not, no responsibility taken.
Just go ahead and bear in mind, dear listeners, that you're going to have to flip those prices.
Well, it's,
don't get your hopes up if you're under 21.
It should be, that's all totally backwards too. It's $8 if you're under 21 and $10 if you're over 21. That's right. That's right. So
no, you just flipped it again.
I did flip it again. I did that all last week as well.
Wait, let me correct myself as he says the exact same thing.
All right.
Let's stand up and correct here.
Somebody needs to save us. Do it now.
Okay. Rubber Gloves on Saturday, April 21st. We have Tweakbird. Oh, that's a great band name.
Tweakbird? Yeah.
Tweakbird. And True Window. It's at 10 p.m. And I'm going to see if I can do a correction here. It's $10 if you're under 21 and $8 if you're over 21.
Yeah, that makes sense.
True Widow is a cool name for a band. I like True Widow.
Okay.
Oh, it's True Widow, not True Window. My bad.
Yeah, True
It's
Widow.
not a Stephen King novel. See me, I'm gonna just for the listeners at home. If you haven't read a Stephen King novel, I'm gonna explain to you every Stephen King novel that's ever been written. Are you guys ready?
Ready, go.
Okay. You invest an hour and a half or more of your life, and then you come to find out it's a giant spider. That is every Stephen King novel.
Or a vampire.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so it's all blood sucking creatures.
Blood-sucking creatures.
It's like
the only original idea he had was the killer car, which he got after getting hit by a car in real life.
Yeah, really ingenious stuff. To be honest.
Well, there was.
We're gonna be on his hit list after this.
That's
He's
good.
got ears everywhere, just like Oprah.
All right, what's happening at Banter?
Oh, at Banter, Friday, April 20th. At 6 p.m. all the way through to 7:45 p.m., we have Poetry Out Loud with Robert Torres.
Have you ever seen those?
No,
it's a treat. I mean, he gets some good poets up. And
Is he? He's not the guy that was in a skirt on Thursday, was he?
He was the guy who was in a skirt.
I wish I could have followed him.
I
Because I had to follow you guys singing,
Right.
which is like, hey, follow Clapton and tell some jokes. Like,
Right.
I don't think that's gonna work. Like, at least
Torres.
I could have come up and been like, good poetry. I missed the memo on wearing my skirt. I would have brought my cheerleader skirt from the old days.
There you go.
No,
Oh,
he's
you
good
have
though.
one,
He's
do
got
you?
a great. He's got a great play with words though. I
Robert
like
Torres
his
is
stuff.
a good is a classmate of mine actually. He's also a theater major. Yeah, I've had a few classes with him. He's a good guy.
Not shocked at that. Not shocked at that. That he's we've talked. Robert and I have talked, and we both share a love for Shakespeare.
Oh yeah.
And sit and just started dropping lines right and left. and the thing was, it was such a potpourri of lines that it became kind of Salvador Dali-esque after a while. The conversation. I would have loved to have had that on tape.
Yeah. I love dropping Shakespeare lines with Bone Doggie here. It's fun.
That's right.
But we also have the Brian.
I love these two next groups.
Oh yeah. We have the Brian Clancy Quartet from 8 p.m. to 9:45 p.m.
Can I drop a Brian Clancy story here?
Do it.
When I came to UNC, I was a jazz major.
Right.
And one of the first dudes I met at the Jamie Abersol summer workshop before coming to UNC was Brian Clancy, who I didn't know at the time. He was just a dude that hung out, really nice guy.
Right.
And come to find out, this kid is ridiculous, a ridiculous musician.
What does he play? What is
tenor sax?
Tenor sax.
And he made I think the 3 o'clock band our freshman year of college.
Yeah,
Really?
It was
He
sick.
is
Wow.
ridiculous.
Sick.
I remember before auditions, he was like, "Hey, let's go into a practice room and we'll just play through charts to get ready. And when we do the solo sections, we'll play bass lines for one another."
Right.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a bass player. That sounds like fun, right?"
Right.
And we're just down there and we're going through tunes, and I start playing. I'm like, "Yeah, you take the first solo," and I start playing bass lines to him, and I messed up because I got lost listening to the guy. I was just like
left
doing,
the planet.
focus on like 3/7 guide tones, that kind of a thing, and then I
Right.
just hear this, I'm just like, what the hell, Sonny Stitt? Like, where did you come from,
Right,
So it's been really cool to see him lately. He's got like a new CD out. He's got like a
Awesome.
quartet going. He's been in the 1 o'clock, so it's great to see, old friend,
That's
make
very
it good.
cool.
So
That's
yeah,
very
please,
cool.
guys, for the comic, go see Brian Clancy
Go
Quartet.
see Brian
True.
Clancy. That's at 8 p.m. to 9:45 at the
And
Banter.
then from 10 p.m. to 11:45, we have Absence of Color.
Absence of color.
Antonio.
And then the following Saturday, April 21st, we have Jazz by Lane Garner from 6 p.m. to 7:45. and Bone Doggie's Open Mic Showcase from 8 p.m. to 11:45.
That's right.
I'll be on that, so you should come.
Well, are you going to win?
I was about to say we're not on it, so don't go. Wait for the showcase that me and Austin are on, because that's the good one. No.
If you show up, we'll probably jam. So,
no, there you go.
There's a big old
Dog,
spot.
you told me 11 to 11:45.
Did we have that conversation?
Yeah, like literally the other night.
Did we have that conversation at the lab?
No, we had that conversation at the banter. It was before we went and got our whiskey.
Well, then we got to put your name on there. Then we don't.
Put your name on it.
Bloody good thing I haven't made the poster yet.
Yeah, right.
So opening up the show, we've got
Jordan Birchill.
That's right, Jordan Birchill.
We got
and then
Dunashay. Sorry, and we
I played with him too.
We got Richard Gilbert
great guy.
and Tanya Blum.
From Earthshine,
Yeah.
our own Tanya Blum, and then
Austin Struckmeyer, this guy, yours
evening.
truly.
There you go.
So what, man? Am I not doing well enough to get on these showcases anymore?
We don't have comics anymore. It's just, we're trying to keep it pure.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
That's not true.
Because we speak with metaphors constantly.
Dude, man, we need a comic in there to take up 45 minutes.
I was, yeah.
You were at the last one.
Bad,
well,
too,
you
man.
you gotta hang out and wait out at least one, and then they'll drag you back and make you suffer again.
I just like giving you crap. It's a comic.
You did a good job of it, so very well. Okay, you still ain't out. Where's the dog?
He's right there.
Watch him, boy. Okay, keep an eye on him.
He's been hanging with me since you told me he'd growl at me. I think he likes me.
Well, guys, it's about time that we start pumping the 32nd annual. I'm not going to say that. Guys, it is about time that we start advertising the annual Denton Arts and Jazz Festival. It's going to be going on April 27th through the 29th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday night, it's going to be open from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, it will open at 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then Sunday, it's going to go from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., where it will finally finish out for the evening.
Nice.
And it's going to be where?
See, it's at Denton's Quakertown Park and Facilities.
That's
321 East McKinney, the corner of McKinney and Bell, Denton, Texas.
76201. That's right. That's for those guys that have the little app with the GPS thing on it.
Yeah, I used that to get here on time today.
On time is a relative phrase, is it not?
I called ahead like a professional.
You know, I was on time.
Yes, you live here.
The dog was on time. Somebody was late. Because he was driving up and down
but
Bingo.
we're not going to name names, but it rhymes with Boston Muckmeyer.
Dear listeners, you can't see this, but I'm flipping these two gentlemen off right now.
He's got such a stubby finger.
Just feel the love.
Courtyard Stage.
Right.
Friday, 3:30 p.m. Not So Hot
The Not So Hot Club. That's Andy Cooper's bunch. Thad Bonduras and Mars Stella and Leon Peak is in there. That's a great band. If you guys have not seen those guys, they are a blast. They really are. And then what's happening? What else is happening Friday?
Well, man, we got the celebration stage sponsored by Wells Fargo.
Over there by the post office.
Friday, April 27th, 5:30 p.m. We got Polly Maynard.
Polly Maynard. I love Polly Maynard. She is so funny.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then
6:15 p.m. we got Mr. Joe and friends.
Mr. Joe. We don't know who friends are going to show up, but Mr. Joe always has some very intriguing friends. He really does.
Is this Mr. Joe from Banter?
Yes, it is. Mr. Joe Pinson.
Okay,
Old Mr. Joe.
Excuse me, I'm just dying over here.
Get the gun.
Put him out of his misery.
And then my cats.
Go shoot the dog, Yeller.
Shoot the dog.
Oh, God.
Don't shoot the dog.
He's not rabid yet.
Well, on Saturday, April 28th, at 9:30 p.m., my cats and kittens, the show to end all shows, the Titanic of entertainment. It will be Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraiser.
Yeah!
All right.
I've got to interrupt here. If you have not seen the Hellraisers, you have not seen a group.
It is quite a spectacle.
Yes, it's amazing. It really is.
I have no religion anymore. My religion is live music. That is my pilgrimage to Mecca around the big block in the square.
His secondary religion is brown nosing.
It is. Oh, totally. And you know what? I'm a clergyman of brown nosing.
The deacon of Dash.
If anybody has seen the Hellraisers, they know I'm not kissing ass.
That's true. 100% true.
We played last Friday night at Roanoke, the city of Roanoke, the city of a civic duty, community thing, and we actually played the Arts and Jazz set, which is a family set.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 7 of the first 8 songs, somebody dies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of death. We are a very Irish band.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Totally.
But no Scots allowed.
Irish.
But
filthy Irish.
This is where I look out being Irish and Scottish.
There you
I'm
go.
just a mutt. So
I don't know if that's lucky.
I'm like, come on, guys, get along. Let's just,
Can't we all get along? Can we all freaking get along?
The answer to that question is no.
No. No. Hey, Heineken, right here.
And I go, hey, at least I'm not British.
Yeah, that's why you're sitting in the room, boyo. That's why you're allowed in here. But anyway, we got in front of these guys, and it was like the city council and all their kids and everything. And we played through the set, and I kid you not, for the first like 3 or 4 songs, they collectively sat there with their mouths open, going, "Oh my gosh!" But I'll tell you what. By the time we were done, everybody was up. They were dancing. They were yelling.
Oh, yeah.
There was a pack of 7-year-olds that were just. We made those kids insane.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was. We had a great time, and the city of Roanoke treated us really well.
That's good, man.
And so yeah, we went ahead and practiced the jazz set. And we're playing that, so we're gearing up. It is going to be one heck of a show.
Oh, can't wait.
And that is going to be 9:30 on the celebration stage on Saturday, April 28th. So that's your cue.
Yeah.
Get your-
What?
read-
Oh, yeah.
Read the script over there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm cutting structure.
He's kidding. This is not scripted. Sunday, April 29th.
Not anymore.
Off the top. Yeah, that went out the window pretty much,
Right.
pretty early on in the show, actually. Yeah.
Sorry, you just got lost in the beauty of Bone Doggie's sonorous tones as he speaks.
He's been taking suck-up lessons from you, I
Yeah.
see. I'm impressed.
That's how we met.
Well, that,
Sunday,
I don't
April
even wanna walk down that
29th.
road.
Sunday, be there or be square. 1:45 p.m. We've got Miss Polly and her tiny big band.
That's a
Awesome
great
name.
band.
Awesome
That is a
name.
great band.
Good-
Got
good
some
stuff,
good friends
good
in that
stuff.
band.
Oh, awesome! At 5:30 p.m. we got
Immigrant Punk.
I love that band.
Old Roe and Aaron and whoever else they happen to bring with them. Immigrant Punk is one of our favorites. We love those guys. All right, finish the line, Struckmeyer.
6:30 p.m. The Future Eyes.
That's Kelby Shrunk and his bunch, the regulars up at Banter.
Oh, okay.
Kelby's the daddy of Kai, who
Okay.
is 5 years old and has been playing up at the open mic.
That kid plays a mean ninth
yeah.
of Beethoven's ninth.
I know it. I know
Mean
it.
ode to joy.
Yeah. So anyway, they're going to be there. That's all the celebration stage. It looks like.
Oh, and then drum
that's
roll,
my friend.
people.
The bravest of all, the Brave
Brave.
Combo.
Brave
And if you
Combo.
want to see me, I will be that ridiculous gentleman in a fish shirt chicken dancing my
All
ass
right.
off when
Yeah.
that comes up. Because that is the greatest.
I'm going to be drinking a beer and eating a euro
Oh,
and
God.
watching you dance.
Euros.
I know the Euros; they're monumental. I once played Jazz Fest in the morning and left to go do another gig so that I could get the money to come back to Jazz Fest and eat Euros for the rest of the
Oh,
day.
wow.
And
You ever
that's what I
gotten
did.
fried alligator on a stick there?
I don't like alligator.
Dude, I never
had
had it. I was like, fried alligator on a stick. That
Yeah.
sounds gross. I'll pay $3 for
It
it.
is.
And I thought it was delicious. It,
It
was
was-
kind of gamey.
Yeah, it's very.
Oh, it's extremely gamey. The first time I had alligator was at Sneaky Pete's down in Louisville, and I said, "I don't like you. Yeah, it sounds gross. I'm going to give it a whack, you know,
Yeah, right.
because it was happy hour and I wasn't really headed anywhere else." So, but yeah, I wasn't really fond of the alligator. As a matter of fact, I like the stick better than I like the alligator.
You
So-
always like the stick more than anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm chest.
So gonna have to edit that out. There goes our PG rating.
Because he's got to be honest.
No, because everybody out there's got a dirty mind.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
like
that's just
Struck
filthy.
Mine.
Guys, clean your mind.
I know.
Get
I'm
out of
so
the gutter.
ashamed. I'm sure. Well, my cats and
I love how
kittens.
the
I'm
comics
just saying that
behave
Bone Doggie
more.
likes to eat wood. That's all.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Monumental occasion here where the comic is behaving better.
I know.
It's
And then a
just-
musician.
It's kind of pathetic.
Slash
yeah.
It's
actor.
weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Hopefully
Actors
I play
are
Carnegie after this.
I don't know, man.
like-
Actors are notorious for being pretty horrible. So
Oh, yeah.
All right, my cats and kittens. We have been wandering through all of this information. We've got to tell you that if you need more accurate information, which you'd probably get, go to DentonJazzFest.com. There we go. So we will do that. And we have run like way over. So let's just talk real quick about the open mics. There's an open mic up at Banter. Everybody loves it, right? Woo!
yeah.
Yeah, we're all there. Okay,
yeah.
That sounds cool. That's every Thursday night. Show up at 7 o'clock to get your name on the list, because if you don't,
Get your name on it.
That's right. You don't get your name on it.
Nope.
That's right. You got to show up, so it fills up pretty fast. So that's what we got for this segment here, my cats and kittens. Boys, I think it's about time that we save our professional careers and segue into something else. Let's bring up some featured music here. This is a tune by my boys, 1140.
Okay.
And there's a tune from them called Sean Door. So you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Yeah, okay. Push the button, Max.
Well, I dug a hole, it was 6 foot deep, and filled it with bad decisions. Well, dirty lies and bloodshot eyes, and truly cruel intentions. Well, I dug a hole 6 foot deep, and filled it with sadness and sorrow. And now I waste away on those saddened days with that money that I've borrowed. Well, I dug a hole and it was 6 foot deep, and then I looked down into it. How could it be that's me I see, lifeless in the pit? No, no. I don't know what day it is. Well, that ain't funny, but that's the way I live. One of these days, something's gotta give, Lord. Well, I try not to fall, try not to cry. I try to be a man and keep a gleam in my eye. At the end of the day, baby, well, that's all that I can do.
All right, my cats and kittens. That was 11:40, and their tune Shondor. And now it is the time that we have all been dreading, which is we're going to actually interview this ragtag bag of miscreants here. Greg, you are originally from...
Well, that's kind of all over. I was born in California, hence
Right.
the Angels hat and the fanboyness with that baseball team.
Yay.
Yeah. I was born in San Leandro, California, which is kind
Right.
of near, Redlands, San Bernardino, the south,
The
kind of
southern part.
southern part of California, where not many people know this, but there are rednecks in California.
Awesome.
They're, in like San Bernardino and like Temecula and really weird towns like that.
So are you saying you're a Southern California redneck?
I come from those people, but like I have, my dad was the one out of all of them that like kind of went off and made good.
Right.
Like we went and visited our relatives when like my grandfather passed. Was the first time we really saw all of our cousins. Who, this is a great story. We meet our cousins and it's like my dad's like, oh this is Steve. He made mutual fund investments for kids under 18 and a way for them to do that. This is my son Mike. He's the third ranked mountain biker in Arizona. And this is my son Greg. He's already played with Wayne Bergeron on trumpet and it's like, oh well, here's your cousin Scott and your other cousins. What do you guys do? Oh, we're backyard wrestlers.
All right.
Yeah, back when that was a thing. I
With
don't know
the baseball bats and the barbed wire.
Oh, that's
my
a
gosh.
tame night, man. Oh God, it was. Their go-bys were El Monstro because my cousin Scott is like huge.
Right.
Like he's like 6'4" and wide.
Good Lord.
Like just brick crap house.
Right, right.
And then I'm losing my other cousin's name because I'm drunk. But but he's like skinny and wiry, and his name was the Jehovah Supernova.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this little character was,
good
a
God.
door-to-door proselytizer that'll, bash your head in. And they had crazy matches. They did a wrestling match on top of a Walmart where Monstro knocked the Supernova off of the Walmart into a dumpster, and he broke his arm and leg. They didn't take him to the hospital.
That had to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm thinking that would have been great. And
This is before Jackass, right?
Oh, way before.
Way before.
And I think Jackass maybe came out a year later, and me and my brothers were sitting laughing, going, "It's our cousins." And I'm sitting there. I had just had like a major concussion and like this horrible injury and whatnot, where it was like one of those, get into the hospital. So
Right.
we always had that like, somebody would tell us a messed up, somebody got hurt story, and we're like, "Did you take him to the hospital?" They're like, "No, we just went and drank." He's walking, he's fine. Like,
That's very
God,
hardcore.
like that's
very
where we
hardcore.
came from,
So you were born in California,
Yep. And then
you-
I grew up in Arizona. That's where I spent most of my time.
Okay, it's lovely out there. I like Arizona.
It's beautiful.
Very
It's
cool.
if you can stand the people, it's a good place.
Okay, this is our disclaimer. If you are in Arizona listening to this, we love you.
Yes.
So, Greg doesn't sound convinced.
Not.
So why the moving around? Are you an Army brat?
No, a business brat.
Business brat.
Business brat.
Okay.
A lot of different job moves.
That is a legitimate
Yeah.
brat. That is
And-
a legitimate
yeah,
brat.
Totally. And what's funny is my mom was an Air Force brat, so she was like, that's how we got. That's why I am the spaz that I am when I meet new people, because we move so much.
That explains a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had that like
yeah.
Army brat thing of like, hi guys, I'm new. I'm not going to judge anybody because I don't know how long I'm here for. So.
Well, how did you end up in Denton?
UNT.
So you went to school.
Yeah.
here.
So yeah, when I graduated high school, my dad had gotten a job offer to work in San Antonio.
Right.
And he held out and said, "No, my youngest is in his senior year of high school. I'm not going
Right.
to pull him out." Literally, the day I graduated, we packed up the car and went out to go see our new house and just check
Wow.
out, Texas and everything. Which I fell in love with Texas. When
It's not really a culture shock from Arizona
it's
to
not.
Texas.
Well, and at first I was like, why are we moving from one desert to another? That was like my initial thought. And of course you drive through, El Paso and all these other
Right.
places
God.
first.
I know.
And I'm just like, why, old man? Why are we going to another desert? And then you break into the hill country, and it's like, there's trees and that grass stuff I've heard so much about. And, and this is beautiful. And, we lived in Bernie.
Yeah.
A little outside of San
Right.
Antonio, so lived there for a little bit, and I think I went to San Antonio College to get ready for UNT.
Right.
Did some time there doing the music thing, and then got into UNT, and that was
Very cool.
the goal. That was they're the first jazz school.
Right.
They're gonna you're gonna get your ass kicked into being a great performer and make money doing
Oh,
it.
jazz school.
Or you're
We have that
going-
discussion here,
Or
yes.
you're going to do comedy 3 years later.
Maybe one spawned the other. That's what I'm
it
thinking.
definitely did. It was
They would have had to.
I had to
I'd
keep
tell
my
you.
sanity by cracking jokes in class. Like, guess what we're doing this week? I don't know. Another transcription of somebody nobody wants to sound like. That's correct.
Yay.
You
no.
are correct,
Oh
sir.
God.
Well, Mr. Struckmeyer, we know that you were a test tube baby.
Yeah,
And
true.
Really?
And you have no. Although it would sound good in a bite, but still, but you have lived all over the place as well.
Yeah.
In fact, you buggered out of here. I know for a while. Now, are you an Army brat?
I am an Air Force brat.
An Air Force brat. Okay,
Awesome.
very cool.
Awesome.
And so you started out where?
I was born in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Wichita Falls.
He was
Yeah.
born a poor black child.
Yeah.
I was born a poor black child. No, I was born in Wichita Falls, Texas, to my mom and my biological father. And then, that didn't end up working out,
Right.
obviously, and she met my dad, who was like the best guy in the world, who was also in the Air
Oh,
Force.
so you traded up.
Traded up.
That's awesome.
Traded
I
up.
love that.
It's really funny because they met in it was a really cute story. They met in, my mom was an EMT for a while, and
Oh, yeah.
she did helicopter evacuations for
Oh, my
like,
goodness,
Hurricane
really?
Hugo and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow,
Mom's a
wow.
total badass.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she was teaching a CPR class.
Right.
She got promoted and ended up being the person who trains all the EMTs. And my dad was in that class.
Very cool.
And my dad, being much like me, or me being much like my dad,
Oh.
just started hitting on her relentlessly.
Had that Wayne's World moment of like,
Here.
she will be mine.
Let's
Oh,
let's
yeah.
let's get this body into the truck. Oh, by the way, I love you.
So, been doing
yeah.
this long?
Yeah. So she introduced him to me, and he
Well, that's awesome.
he loved me, and so we went from there. We
Now-
moved to San Antonio and all around, and
Unlike the rest of us, you did not go to high school, or at least you didn't finish high school in the United States.
yeah, I did not go to high school in the United States. I spent all 4 years in Naples, Italy.
Oh, you love
They have high schools in Naples, Italy.
Yes, man.
They
You don't
do.
really picture that, do you?
I do, but I picture like it being like a Fellini movie.
And everybody's dressed in the same little uniform,
Yeah,
with
oh
the-
yeah,
which
oh yeah.
I would kill to see you in little white socks with the little black shoes.
That's
It's a little
revealing
bit.
about you.
That's a little
Bojack.
gay.
We've
No,
learned
yeah,
more-
we didn't have a uniform, but we were kept in check by the MPs who were carrying automatic shotguns.
A lot of people just have nuns. You guys had MPs.
We had MPs.
Oh my God.
Which, for the listeners at home who don't know anything about the military, that stands for military police.
Military police.
They are.
So that's what Americans wish they could have high schools like. Dudes with
Yeah.
shotguns keeping kids in check.
Well,
Yeah, it was pretty great. But I mean, once you got off base, there was no drinking age. You
Right,
could go out, have some
right.
beers with your friends, go to a club.
Good little Italia.
Oh yeah, the
Good
best
little
thing you can
Yeah.
ever do in Naples, especially considering it's so mob heavy, is to make friends with people in the food industry.
I would think so. Eating in Naples would be awesome.
You've never had pizza better than Naples, Italy.
See,
And
pizza
my
is
best
way
best
different out
Italian
there.
friend ran a pizzeria, and I
Wow.
got whole pizzas and cafe for like €2.
That's fascinating because pizza is not native to Italy.
No, yeah, it's
It's an
Sicilian.
American invention.
No.
Yeah, it was created here.
By
I know.
immigrants.
I know. I was there. It was created here by
He
immigrants.
bought the first slice.
By immigrants, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the way the burrito was invented.
Well, yeah.
Like
yeah.
it was a.
This is the real thing.
A
and now we're
catch-all
doing it. Yeah.
meal that you could carry around with you, like a pizza pie
Exactly.
that would
It's
have
almost like we
everything
should
you
use
needed
that
for
as
the
like
day.
proof of evolution.
Right.
Like it started this way, and then hey, people moved and
Started
adapted to their
burrito
environment, and,
and grew all the way
So,
up
yeah.
to its current stuffed
Yeah,
crust
man.
personality
I
now.
moved
Have you heard
moved
about-
around a lot.
Yeah. So you guys are not what we call muggles, which is non-musical folk.
yes.
You play guitar,
Normies.
I play guitar, trombone, piano, and I sing.
and so you're an overachiever, and you play.
I play trumpet, bass guitar, and piano.
Okay.
And I'm not a lead singer, but I'm a
He's
good
good-
harmony guy. I'm a backup singer you want. Me and my friend were talking about this last night. Though, like you were saying, he was overachievers. Like somebody was asking about Denton, how like there's a lot of musicians in this town, and I
Right.
said, well, yeah. you can stand on the corner, throw a stone, and
And
you know,
hit a musician.
hit a starving
Absolutely.
musician, you know.
That you can.
And
You can.
really, in this town, it's that thing
Forces
of like,
you to get good.
yeah, and it's that
it
thing
does.
of like, wait, you only play one instrument?
I know. It is so seldom to run into somebody that only plays one instrument, unless they're just learning or something like that.
Yeah,
We
they're either
have-
like just learning or
Yeah.
they're just like oh god, like the best in the
Right.
state or the they're the god of that
we-
instrument.
Well, I'm
we-
definitely not one of those.
Well, we do what we can. We do what we can. That's where we go with that.
I brought my baby with me today,
I
actually, for the
noticed
podcast.
that. I know, and we're going to talk a little bit about that because my brother made comment. I wrote him the other day and told him that you had got cast, and do you know Austin? He says, oh yeah, I loved Austin, blah, 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 blah. Have you seen his guitar? and Austin has got a Fender Resonator, My Cats and Kittens, and it is a beautiful piece of work. And I wrote Brother Bruce back and basically told him, yeah, I've seen it. I've been trying to steal it for the last 6 years. And he won't let it out of his sight, so I can't get it for
Some
him.
poor soul made the mistake of calling it a dobro. And Austin went off on that.
I was like,
person.
no,
It was
it's a
hilarious.
resonator. Dobro is a brand.
There
And
you go.
And I'm like, no BS. It was that last Thursday when I was like exhausted from work and was just like, I want to do my time, go home and sleep. Like I just want to brush through my new jokes.
You were suffering. That was
dude,
funny.
it
Oh
was
my
bad.
gosh.
And like,
That was funny.
you know, and what's funny is like I remembered the set, and there was one person listening to me the whole time, and it was this really cute hippie girl with dreadlocks.
Right.
And like she's sitting there nodding the whole time, and I'm like, man, if I'd been a little bit more awake, I would have been like, and pull the mic off the stand. You're the only one listening, so I'm gonna sit at your table and just interview
And
you.
just
Let's have
talk to you.
let's
There
have
you
a
go.
first date on a microphone here.
There
What's
you
your
go.
name? But
Ooh, speed comedy. There you
yeah,
go.
totally,
Right?
totally.
Ding.
Yeah, I got 5 minutes left here. It's perfect speed date time.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. How did you get into stand up?
Oh man, I was that dude for a long time that just kind of made everybody laugh. Like was just
Right.
always cutting up. Like I didn't talk much in high school, but when I did, I would make the class
Making
laugh.
jokes,
And,
yeah.
to be fair, it wasn't always my material. I would like quote Chappelle at the right time, or
Well, we all rip people
Oh,
off.
yeah,
and,
exactly.
and
That was-
Picasso said, "Great artists steal."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know about you, but I have taken that to heart.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was,
right?
Yeah, great
part of my
artists
makeup.
borrow, geniuses steal.
That's right.
John Williams, we're looking at you. But,
John Wayne.
oh, man.
John Wayne. No, I think apparently we've hit a bone with this one. Over here.
Some classical major out there is losing his mind. Like,
Yeah.
oh God, that was so funny. But
I think I would rather rip off Danny Elfman.
Oh,
God,
any day.
yeah.
Any day.
He uses tritones.
Although, man, you cannot argue with da 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 da. It's
feels
perfect.
so cool.
It is a perfect melody.
These are dinosaurs. They will eat your face if they get away. So, yeah, that
They
was-
were grown in a test tube.
I think the thing that really got me about John Williams, of course, was, and I heard it the week it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dating myself here, but I heard it the week it came out. Darth Vader's March.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, the Imperial March.
Vroom, vroom,
Bum,
yes.
You mean Battery by Samuel Barber.
Oh, regardless.
Okay.
It's awesome.
My luck, this will be the only time John Williams listens to your show, and he's gonna go, I'm gonna fly out to Denton and play some jazz piano in front of this kid and just wreck his world.
You know what?
I respect John Williams. The man can play
We've
when George Lucas went to him for that score, he was like the local jazz piano guy around USC campus. So it was like, oh yeah, get Williams. He composes. Like
Right.
really, it was like like hey, Austin plays guitar. See if he'll write the score for our movie. And it was just like, oh, he turned in gold.
Yeah. We have thrown people out of here for showing off their education.
I'm
so
sorry,
watch yourself.
I'll watch myself.
Yeah,
I'll go back
that's
to
it.
where my comedy roots come from.
Okay, there you go.
Before.
Well, speaking of education, we're going to take a little break here and play some music. And what we're going to do, this was an amazing thing to me. Christmas time, guy walks up and hands me a CD. And it's got a picture of a razor blade on it and the word blue in blue. And I didn't listen to it right away. And then we were talking about it. I found out that it was actually produced by Taylor Mosley. So I stuck it into the machine, and it was one of my tunes. Matt Grigsby went out and recorded Razor Sharp and Silken Blue. And so that's what we're going to play right now. So here it is, Matt Grigsby with his version of a Bone Doggie tune, Razor Sharp and Silken Blue. And you are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com.
town's the same as the one before. Hotels in solitaire, empty bars with wooden floors. Rain on the pavement, door slammed in my face. Promise of miracles, reality of mistakes. Razor sharp and silken blue. Ooh, can't seem to drink away this melancholy mood. Only friends an empty glass, pack of stale cigarettes, bottle of memories, suitcase of regret. 1,000 miles of highway, these old worn out shoes, bus station breakfast, train station blues, selling my soul one door at a time, storing pennies in heaven while hell is full of dimes. Razor sharp and silken blue. Ooh, can't seem to drink away this melancholy mood. Only friends an empty glass, pack of stale cigarettes, bottle of memories, suitcase of regret. Razor sharp and silken blue. Ooh, can't seem to drink away this melancholy mood. Only friends an empty glass, a pack of stale cigarettes, bottle of memories, suitcase of regret.
I have to chime in here because we've been talking about how great the Irish are. The Scots haven't had a chance to defend themselves.
The Scot.
The Scot needs
And
to
me
defend
as a
There's
Scot,
a Scot and a quarter
Austin,
here.
Austin here is a half Scottish and is very, very, very protective of that heritage.
Yes, you are.
So I'm going to tell my favorite joke, which is at the expense of the Irish, of course.
and the bleep knob.
And it goes, no bleep knob necessary.
No bleep knob. What is bleep knob? That's not even.
I don't know. That's not even
That
a
sounds
thing.
dirtier than the
I
censorship
know.
itself.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Lord.
What do you call it? The what do you call the button that you hit when you're going to censor somebody on radio? There's a name for it. There's a technical term.
I have no idea, man.
Well,
This is the first time I've ever been on the radio.
Bleep knob has now joined the place with squiggly things. So, which is these are your squiggly things right here.
Yeah, right.
All right, tell us the joke, sir.
This is a joke by my favorite comedian named, not my favorite, but one of my favorite comedians named Danny Boy.
That's Irish.
He's Scottish, though. He's a Scotsman named Danny Boy. It's ironic.
Cool story, bro.
All right.
Yeah. And it goes like this.
We're number one again.
Now, people always ask me if I'm Irish because of my accent, but I'm obviously not from Ireland. I'm from Scotland. It's a very easy way to tell the difference between an Irish person and a Scottish person. Like, I'm a Scot talking to you right now. Hi, my name is Austin. How are you? If I was Irish, I'd sound more like this. Diddly-dee, potatoes.
You know, We could tie you to the back of the car and drag your ass up and down the street.
See,
if you
here's the
want.
thing, though, is I don't think you could. I think you tried, but you failed.
I'm sicking me Dalmatian on you. Come here, Pooch.
You want to see who wears the longer kilt? We'll find out.
Take a wee on his foot, will you?
Leave it to the Irishmen to resort to pit.
Puerto Rican.
Because that's what your liquor tastes like, cowboy.
Oh, we invented whiskey. Don't even get me started on that. You wouldn't be drinking whiskey if it was not for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Puerto Rican guy is going to crawl on his raft and head home here because I am not any part of this.
It is about time to ride off into the sunset, as it were.
Aye, the proverbial sunset, as it were.
We could be
Let's
here
ride
for months.
Let's
so-
ride that sidetrack train off of here.
That was actually a pretty decent segue there. Thank you very much.
I tried.
Saved our fannies. And that is also a radio technical term, fannies. So we're going to say good night, my cats and kittens. And as always, depending on whether we survive this show or not, we'd like to invite you to keep listening to DentonRadio.com and tune in for a new Doggy Time show this time next week, which is every Tuesday night at 8 p.m.
And if you want to listen to Doggy Time anytime, you can just click on the Doggy Time button on our DentonRadio.com player, and that will take you to our blog at DentonRadioblog.com.
There, you will also be able to hear past episodes of the show.
And maybe this one.
You can also find Denton Radio on Facebook, so leave us a post on the wall and let Bone Doggy just know exactly what you think of his wonderful show.
And if you don't like the show, lie like a dog.
Yeah.
Lie like a dog. Tell us we're wonderful anyway, because we need positive affirmation.
Lie like you're Irishman.
Like the Scott's gonna die. He's not gonna make it out of now. So spread the gospel, my cats and kittens. Tell your friends and loved ones about us. We support local here at DentonRadio.com, and we hope you do too. Now, boys, we are going to end up with a treat. We're going to go out in style with a song from yours truly, your humble narrator, Bone Doggie, and his Hickory Street Hellraisers. This is one of the first tunes we did, and this is called My Blue Shoes.
Nice.
We're going to walk right out of here. You are listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I knew that you could.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for having us, Bone Doggie.
Thanks for coming out, boys.
It's been a pleasure, sir.
Drop me off the corner down at Cadillac and Mills. Won't stay too long, just enough to get my fill. Who knows, I might get lucky, find some little frill who ain't exactly picky about who's paying them bills. You know what I mean? Can you dig it? I knew that you could. Saunter in the joint, be moving kind of slow, trying hard to get noticed, pretending I don't know. I order up something fashionable and strike the other pose. Nondescript, incredibly hip, ready for a show. Well, I'm strutting like a rooster, my high tail's on. $40 suit, I just got out of the pawn. Pull out all the trim and so you can't go wrong. Get up the door for a crowd and your blue shoes on. Get your blue shoes on. Get your blue shoes on. Get your blue shoes on. Let's hear about them blue shoes. Go ahead and play it. Doggy time. smoking big cigars, drinking up all the brew. Smoky colored women, they making a deal or two. Well, old Cadillac Bill's a place to do it right. If you want to take it to heaven on a Saturday night, well, you can strut like a rooster, get your high tails on. $40 suit just got out of the pawn.